Hi. Many of you probably know already that I'm a developmental editor. I help people shape their drafts of creative writing, and that I'm a writing instructor, a creative writing instructor. But you may not know that I'm also an animal communicator. And this is relevant to writing, so hear me out here. I just taught a class the last 2 Saturdays that I just finished yesterday, so it's on my mind now. And the course is called Listening with Your Heart, an Introduction to Animal Communication. In teaching it, teaching people how to listen to their animals with their hearts, to hear what their animals are saying at a deeper level, reminded me that, this is very useful to writers as well. Listening not only to feedback that people are giving you about your work, listening and trying not to get defensive about it, but really just listening and accepting what resonates and leaving the rest. If it doesn't resonate, then fine. And listening to other writers talk about their own work and their process, and listening to other writers' work. And I don't just mean with audio tapes, but listening by reading it. So I mean all of that, but more. I also mean more than that. Listening to our work as we're writing it, or maybe after we've completed a draft. But allowing ourselves to hear where the story, fiction or nonfiction, where the story wants to go, or where a character wants to go, or what she really thinks, or what she's upset about. Listening to our characters and listening to our story. Now, when we're writing longer pieces, it makes total sense to draft something out, to outline something, to have some sense of where you think your piece is going to go. That makes sense. I think most people do that on longer pieces, maybe not on short stories or shorter memoir pieces, but certainly on longer pieces. But the problem becomes when writers try to drag the story along, when they have complete control over it, and they aren't listening to the story. So what does that mean? We're writing the story. It's us. Who are we listening to, right? Well, we're listening to that part of ourself, the creative part. Maybe it's our subconscious, our right brain, whatever you want to call it. It's that creative part of ourself that we often have a tendency, at least in Western culture, to silence, to overpower with our ego and with our left brain, our logical brain, and say, this is how I'm writing this, and this is how I'm laying it out, and this is how this character is, and what she believes, and what he thinks, and we don't give the piece an opportunity to take on its own life, to take on its own form, to lead us in a new direction, and to make discoveries with this piece. And so I'm inviting you to do that. And how? Well, quiet yourself in whatever way works for you. Maybe journaling a little. Just let your, to free yourself before you write or before you jump back into a project. Journaling. Maybe it's breathing exercises. Maybe you do yoga. Maybe you do meditation. Maybe there's other things you could do. But just simple grounding breathing exercises, where you feel your seat bones in the chair and you feel your feet against the floor, and you just calm yourself piece by piece with breath, and release yourself to be able to listen and to not have to be in quite so much control over your piece all the time. So that's just something I hope you'll consider. It's fun. It may take you longer to complete a piece, but that's okay. You're making discoveries. And I think your piece will be richer, deeper and richer, and more enjoyable for you, and more enjoyable to your reader if you allow it to have its own voice. So I'm Pam Sorellis of Winged Horse Writing Studio, and I help writers discover their stories and discover their voices and shape their work so that it's beautiful and powerful. And I also teach workshops in animal communication too. So have a good week writing, and I will see you next time.